Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented to you by Fubo TV. We got him in there on the pregame show. I came prepared today. You can watch the Avalanche on Fubo TV.
You can.
Highly recommend. Easiest way to get your altitude TV right
I imagine that's how Jesse's watching the game tonight.
I would assume so, yeah. It's the best way. Avs taking on the LA Kings today. Tonight, it's not even close to today. It's very late. Unfortunately, no Bowen Byram for the Avs. He is out with an illness, so nothing serious, but still not in the lineup.
Is it a $250,000 illness? Because
do you think he's got to play in the games next week?
I sure was like
curious.
I mean, after I mentioned it the other day, like, hey, do the Avs try and get cute with Byram and his games played? Because if he gets to 41, he gets the contract bonus triggers. And they have an extra $400K against their cap next year.
Yep.
10 goals already triggered part of it. 41 games played gets to the next part. So it was like...
I'll believe the conspiracy when he's out next Wednesday still.
Well, so like he misses tonight. He misses tomorrow. You got 3 games left. He needs 2 to play.
We'll see. We'll see. I make no promises.
Just
My
saying.
theory is motion sickness from Magic Mountain.
from the Disney trip.
From
Perfect.
the Disney trip.
Sold.
Which could last a few days. So.
It's a lot of motion sickness. I don't know about
$200,000 motion sickness for him.
But regardless of Byram, Brad Hunt will slot back into the defense, giving you a full 6 defense of Devon Taves, Sam Girard, the Johnsons, McDermott, and Hunt. LA is not San Jose. They are not a pushover team, and they're a team in the playoffs.
They're a team fighting for home ice in the playoffs.
Also, they could earn the second place spot. I don't know the Edmonton score tonight. I haven't checked it. So
they won today.
Did they win? Okay. So not going to be easy for them to get to that spot.
Yeah.
But they would need a win tonight. They're going to be trying. Megan, is this a team the Avs should beat even with this defense that they're running out tonight, or is this one going to be tough?
Well, just how this season has, like how they've played against LA through this season, it probably is going to be a challenging game no matter what. But this is a team on paper that they should be able to beat. And honestly, there are things about LA as a team to give them credit that are shades of Vegas, things that they do well. And so I think in a way, this is another good test for them to ramp up against different styles of competition before they go into the playoffs as a demonstration of what they're capable of, because even without Makar and Byram, this is a lineup that has a Rantanen and a McKinnon in it, and many other people too. Taves, they've got Georgiev going in net. Yep. So there's a lot of reasons that this is still a competitive team going into tonight, but on paper they should beat LA.
Okay. Believer on one side. AJ, you seemed a little more doomery coming into the place today.
Yeah, definitely just with the defense. You're talking about it being the strength of your team and the way that they transport pucks from defense to offense is such a huge part of their identity, and it's such an important part specifically of beating LA and the Kopitar-Danault forward or center depth. Such a big part of that is being able to get pucks from defense to offense and getting them through the neutral zone with possession. And not having Bowen Byram and Cale Makar is going to make that
it's a big
significantly harder to do. And at least the one thing that you do really like about Brad Hunt's game is that's an area where he can help you.
At least play a little offense for you.
Yeah. he can move a puck here and there for you. It's everything else about it is fair to be a little uncomfortable with, but that is an area where, like, hey, he can on paper do that job. If he was able to do it at a high level consistently, he wouldn't be Colorado's like 8th defenseman.
Sure.
So, but on any given night, sure, it could totally work out. And you have Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen absolutely on fire this week. So
if they pop off, you're just going to win.
You don't ever want to walk into a game with those two guys at the front of your forward core and be like, they can't win tonight. Like, I do feel like it is going to be an uphill battle, but a fun challenge for a guy like Georgiev to embrace.
For sure.
Maybe not going in tonight with the advantage of having the better on paper team in front of him with all the guys that are going to be out of the lineup. Maybe the last time, hopefully the last time he has to do this season. And with the Wild in the third period of wrapping up a win
against St. Louis here.
Against St. Louis.
We'll talk about this in a second.
This is not a meaningless game.
And look, they've already announced Francouz is going to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Georgiev can kind of let it all hang loose here tonight.
Yeah, and LA has to figure out which guy they want in net too. Is it Copley or is it Korpisalo? You know, the Korpisalo was the big deadline acquisition, you know, all that. But Phoenix Copley's done great work for them this year. He's maybe the number one reason that they're even in position to be in the postseason today, given his work for the first 4 months of the season.
I think it is Copley tonight too.
It is.
Okay.
There you go.
But it's
an audition. I see what you're saying for who between the two for LA moving forward.
Yeah, because if I recall correctly, Korpisalo got pulled the other day. So that's not the audition that you want. And Copley against Colorado, on paper, it'll be like, well, he beat the Avs, okay.
Always a bit dicey going into the playoffs with an unclear goalie situation.
Yeah, and that's one thing it is nice this year. That's not the case.
It's very clear.
Frankie getting healthy just in time, and he will get a game. Frankie will probably play twice this week.
I would expect them to play both back-to-backs, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the only reason he wouldn't is because they have a chance.
They need it.
That Nashville game, they have a chance to win the division, and they want Georgiev to go both.
Sure. Tonight it's Georgiev. A good game from him would go a long way for Colorado. The other thing, AJ, as you mentioned, we did this once with McKinnon. Mikko now sitting at 98 points. He could be, and this would, I talked about this in a short on YouTube, but only one other time in Avalanche history have they had two 100-point players.
Yeah.
Of course, that was Sakic and Forsberg. That was in their first year. So good things happen when the Avs have two players over 100 points.
I mean, they should. Edmonton normalizing postseason failure with dominant players is not something that should be like a thing that people should be comfortable with.
You talked all that smack this year about Nuge, and he's a 100-point player.
Yeah, greatest power play of all time.
It's nuts.
Hard carrying that guy. Hard carrying.
Uh-huh. Nobody gets hard carried to 100 points.
Okay.
Not the point. The point is the Avs are experiencing a bunch of milestones here. Obviously, the McKinnon one was big because he had gotten so close a handful of times.
Yeah.
The Mikko one, we saw it happen in San Jose the other night. It was clearly on the Avs' minds. Megan, do you think this one is the same? Are the Avs thinking about this 100 for Mikko, or is it more of an afterthought?
I think they're thinking about it.
Okay.
I think they're going to feed Mikko.
Just feed the moose.
You don't think there's a little emotional burnout from 2 nights in a row being like, okay, guys, all right, we got it. We celebrated you, Jesus.
And, it's different in that they don't have to just feed Mikko for goals. They just, honestly, Avs get a power play and there's opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it's maybe a lot more natural for this milestone, too. There probably is some burnout. There's actually been so many milestones. Ben Myers, 2-goal night. Logan O'Connor, 200th game.
The Avs going to run California out of
There's
pucks.
actually so many that, well, and that's not even tonight. It's just in recent history. But you know what I mean? There's been so many to keep track of. If they are experiencing burnout, they haven't shown that part yet.
Get it out now. They won't be thinking about it for the playoffs at very least. Not that the statistics carry over, but you know what? If feeding Mikko gets him to beast mode, I will take it. Not going to complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight they just have to play smart hockey. They have to play discipline. Don't give anything free away to LA.
A good point.
They have to take it seriously. They very clearly did not take the 2 games in San Jose super seriously.
Seriously enough.
In both games, when it was required for them to turn it up, they did, got the win, and then they were good.
Yeah. That moved on with life.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. We talked about they needed 6 points on this road trip. Well, how everything has gone around them, you really kind of want to see 8, to be honest.
You win tonight, and you should get 8. Right?
Yeah, you win. Tonight is the big one of, this is the one that you kind of scheduled and said, all right, well, it's okay to lose this game, but also you don't want to keep losing to good teams. I understand the lineup is what it is, but they've been a really good road team this year, and you don't want to keep losing to these guys. They're going to have to gear up. They're playing only playoff teams after Anaheim. Or I guess playoff hopefuls. So like just take it seriously, I guess is like that's if you lose and they play really well, it is what it is. But
Sure.
I just want to see them take it seriously. I want to see a better start. I want to see a more energized start. I want to see legs moving. I just want to see a little better overall commitment beginning to end.
Especially with the day of rest in between, and the outcome of the Dallas-Vegas game, I think, made this game so much more important for the Avs. It dictates why they really... I won't be in shambles if they lose, but depending on their ambitions, they can't afford to.
Yeah. And like the game in hand that they're making up happens tomorrow. It's against Anaheim, where you're like, they could lose tonight, they go to sleep, they're in a 3-way tie once again in the division. They wake up tomorrow, they go smoke the Ducks. They're in first place going into the final week of the season. Like, you feel good about it.
Definitely.
You're still in a good spot. But if you win this game tonight, you really put yourself in a position to be like, the other two teams cannot lose the rest of this year.
Well, that's if you win tonight and you win in Anaheim, a day or two from now, maybe Dallas wakes up, looks at the schedule, and goes, you know what? Let's just back it off.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Let's give Ottinger an extra day off. Let's give one of these guys. These guys are nicked up. They've got whatever going on. Let's give some of these guys breathers.
You mentioned it.
Keep the pressure on everybody else.
The Dallas win, Minnesota about to lock up a win tonight. So the 2 points aren't nothing. They are important for the Avs staying at the top of this division. Unfortunately, the Dallas game did go into OT as well, which is worst case scenario.
Kept them from a regulation win.
Which I guess helps in that regard. And I get this was a little bit of a pipe dream, but theoretically the Avs could still win the West.
Yeah.
That extra point to Vegas makes that a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think we'd stop talking about it because when you're 4 points back with 5 to play, you are really, you're just not in a great spot.
You need help.
Yeah.
You need help at that point.
Yeah, it's still possible. And look, if the Avs win out, they put pressure on everybody around them to do exactly the same.
It's true. Be good or get good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that simple. With Colorado going into this game, I guess my question would be, who would you like to see the Avs get going on a night like tonight? Ben Meyer's a great example of San Jose the other night.
It's Alex Newhook.
Newhook? She was ready, yeah.
Forget Myers. I don't even remember that name.
Ben who?
It's Alex Newhook forever.
He did the thing. It's fine. It's Newey's time.
Okay. I'm here for the take.
I mean, watching him get robbed by James Reimer. And it's not like he flubbed it. It wasn't like he does anything wrong. He smokes that thing exactly the way you want. And James Reimer gets across and makes a great glove save. And you're just like, fuck you, dude.
It has felt like that at times this year where the goalies are just making their best save on Alex Newhook sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was happening to Ben Myers.
Yeah.
it absolutely was.
Until it didn't.
Exactly.
And honestly, thanks in part to Newhook. I felt like they were creating really well together. So hopefully that continues.
Here for it. Anything to get him juicing.
To be honest with you, a Newhook Myers, Matt Nieto trio. It's a lot of speed at the
Just
bottom of a
zipping
lineup.
around.
Yeah, that's a lot of speed to hand for a team that usually ices guys at the bottom of a lineup
wanna
where they're
sludge it up a little
here's
bit,
our physical guys, here's our grinders, here's the guy that we want to cycle. We're gonna you got these 3 little hummingbirds just flying around the ice. That's it's a decent. Those guys present challenges.
A bunch of gnats swarming them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of what the acronym would be.
I do agree with the Newhook answer, but to a lesser extent, you want to see Lars Eller have a good game.
It's true.
The Lars Eller defensive stopper thing has not really happened against bad teams.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's the case, where against good teams, you've seen him
He turns it up.
take some tougher assignments and handle them really well. But against bad teams, he's kind of just been like, I don't even know if any of these guys I'm playing against are going to be in the NHL next year. But I do want to see Lars Eller start to slide into a consistent rhythm of he's winning his matchup every night.
You would love to see it. That does bring us to our bets over DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to see Lars Eller score a goal, he's plus 450. I don't know if that's good odds or bad for Lars Eller. I'm not going to lie to
Those
you.
don't feel like great odds for a guy that has like 12 goals all season.
Yeah, it's not a ton. But, you
They
know,
have more faith in Lars.
if you want to spice it up, I think first goal would be like plus 1,400 or something. So,
Which, again, not
all right. Then don't
very high.
take something else. The Avs actually kind of a pick 'em tonight, minus 115 to just win the game outright.
I mean, Jack Johnson just keeps getting pucks that go in off of stuff. Ride that heater.
Sure, jump on the Jack Johnson train if you want. Erod for 1 point, even money. Can get some good action going on there.
A guy that on any given shift
Could do something
could do
amazing,
something awesome, or he
Yeah.
does something like mind-bogglingly dumb. So weird.
Over 3.5 goals for the Avs, plus 125. Don't expect a high-scoring game against the Kings, but they could get to 4. I think it's pretty reasonable. Given the lineup we've talked about, you'd like to see them get to 4 to make their lives a little bit easier.
Yep.
McKinnon and Rantanen doing the heavy
If
lifting
you get to
there.
4 and you lose, you're pretty disappointed.
Exactly. So there are some good options for bets out there on the Avs over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Get over there, use the DNVR code when you sign up for a new account. You bet $5, you get $150 to bet on whatever you want. You don't even have to win your bet to get it. You must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See the show notes down below for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. It's all void in Ohio. All right. Final thoughts before we get into this game and the watch along?
No.
Sick. All right. Sometimes it's just that
Entertaining
easy.
game, please. We
Yep.
have to be up all night for this
Right.
thing.
I cannot do a sludge game until midnight tonight. Let's give me something to watch here.
Yeah.
We are going to get out of here for this pregame. We do have a watch along coming your way if I don't melt into this chair before that. Tune in to that, or at very least, tune into the postgame where we'll break the whole game down for you no matter what happens. Give us a like on YouTube here. We appreciate you, and we'll catch you in a few minutes.